There's the beam. Okay, 164! 164! Let's go! Hey folks, Wes here. Today I want to go over my level 100 character. This is the final build update for the Stormweaver Sorc. And as you can see, we're level 100. These are the stats. This is the mana, busy energy shield, you know, the resistances are capped or whatever. But without further ado, let's get into it. So we still have our level 20 Spellslinger wand here. The wand is updated. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we made a few changes with the Spellslinger now. We still have the Lightning Conduit, using Lightning Mastery, using Elemental Focus, using Rising Tempest, using Control Destruction. The biggest change probably from my last final update video is actually in the arc skills here. Because we switched to using Zenith 2, and we got Rakiata's Flow. I don't remember if I had Rakiata's Flow, but these supports here, Sion's Temper, Efficiency 2, Zenith 2, Rapid Casting 2, and Rakiata's Flow, all feel really good. And in the last video, I had some stuff to boost up my shock magnitude, but now with my gear being as good as it is, I get the shock magnitude all the way up to 102% here. So 100% is the cap, so we don't need the like overcharge support anymore. We have Mana Tempest still, we have Efficiency 2, and now we're running Uhtred's Omen, which gives +3 if you have one other support. So we're getting an extra 116% lightning damage in here when we use it. Not using a ton. Elemental Weakness, we're not actually using Elemental Weakness very much unless we're killing a boss. Otherwise, we're just using Rakiata's Flow with the arc to kill stuff, and it rips through enemies. It's pretty awesome. Rakiata's Flow, or sorry, not Rakiata's Flow. Elemental Weakness has Curse Ground in it, Heightened Curse, Focus Curse, and Fire Mastery. You could have any kind of mastery in here. It doesn't really matter. We still have Frostbomb on the bar. We almost never press Frostbomb now. But it exists if you want to use it, I guess. In Archmage, we have, it's level 24. And we are currently running, ooh, it's actually 19 levels from Gem, so I could get an extra level here still. We are using Diala's Desire, Lightning Mastery, and Uhtred's Augury. Uhtred's Augury is quite expensive. Diala's Desire, obviously quite expensive, and Lightning Mastery is whatever. In the Orbital Storms, I don't think Orbital Storms has changed too much. We're using Overabundance. We're using Harmonic Remnants for the extra additional remnant potential and the like 30% further away. And then Efficiency 2, Zenith 2, and Magnified Area. Just to talk about Zenith 2 a little bit here. Zenith 2 is really interesting because it gives you recouped mana as part of the cost. So as you're like casting these abilities, the more you cast them, kind of similar to how the like Tech Rod's life stacking works, whereas like the more you cast, the more regen you get. It's kind of similar to a much lesser effect, but like the more you cast, the faster and faster your mana regen becomes up to a certain point. So these like two Zeniths in that and in Arc give a lot of damage, and then they also give you like an extra amount of mana regen, which was something I wasn't really expecting, but has been quite nice. And then we have Convalescence, Cooldown Recovery, Second Wind. So that's basically the same. Siphon Elements, also pretty much the same. We have Clarity 1 in there as well. So those are the skill gems. Really the biggest difference is in Arc with Sion's Temper. Sion's Temper was the same. I think we added Efficiency 2 and Zenith 2 to replace the previous two, like Overcharge and Commiserate, I believe is what it's called. So yeah, that's the skill gem update. And the biggest update is going to be in the gear. The gear I'm really excited to get into. So let's jump over to that now. All right, just to talk about the gear now. As you can see, pretty much everything I own has an extra socket except for my foci. and you'll see why in just a bit here. But my wand is probably the best piece of gear I have ever had in Path of Exile 2. It is a level 20 spell slinger that is an exceptional base. So it started with 2 sockets, and then we corrupted it to have a third. I bought this wand for 150 divine. It came with the fractured spell and the fractured lightning spells and the tier 1 spell damage. And then it costs an extra what is that, like 900 div to land the other modifiers, the gain extra lightning damage, the percent lightning damage, and the cast speed and the mana regen. And so in total, the wand costs like 2,400 divine to create, to buy and create. So at the time, it was cost me like 2.4 mirrors, because at the time a mirror was like 1,000 divine. So definitely the most expensive piece of gear I've ever made, crafted, etc. It's probably the high point of my league is getting this wand. It's really quite something. The helmet, not too much to write home about here. It's a exceptional ancestral tiara with a lot of energy shield, and we have mana modifiers in here to give us a lot more mana because mana is damage, and then whatever. We are using a Morior Invictus. It has the attributes, the mana, and resistances. The attributes give us a lot more intelligence, and the mana gives us a lot more mana, obviously. Mana is damage, so this helps us get over 3,000 mana without having to do any Eldritch Battery stuff. And inside of it, we have plus 10% quality to skills, because lightning damage does more damage, or sorry, not lightning damage. Lightning conduit does more damage with more quality. So instead of doing 25% more damage per hit, we do 29%, and that is because of our chest here, and that it is also because of our locket, or our amulet here. Sorry, amulet, we have anointed the Cunning Fox, and we have our tier 1 spell damage, tier 4 mana, a little unlucky. I was kind of crafting these en masse, but we did overroll for +4 spell. And then super unfortunate, I only got +4 quality here. If this was 5% quality, then our lightning conduit would do 30% more damage. I'm just missing just that 1% more, but it's really hard to hit all these modifiers. And just, I decided this is good enough. We're going to stop here. But it's so close. It's so close to being insane. Like, it is insane, but it's so close to being perfect. But I couldn't quite get there. This is our focus. We have the lightning damage fractured here. We have the spell damage, tier 2, overrolled a little bit to tier 1, which is nice. Hybrid mana, we would have preferred flat mana here, but we were just crafting these en masse, specifically to sanctify for +4 on the spell level. So we have a +4 amulet and a +4 focus. Our rings are pretty similar here. We basically just switched off of rarity completely and went full damage so that we could see what our like maximum damage potential is. So we have the max mana, flat mana, and then lightning, and then same here, we have the max mana, lightning, the increased percent mana, and then we have mana regen on here, which is actually feels pretty nice for us. And then more resistances and stuff. I think this is about the highest possible damage that I can get out of my rings. Cast speed doesn't actually give more damage, it just makes the DPS look better, and our goal was to hit the like highest possible single lightning conduit that we could do. So that's where we're at there. The gloves are very nice. I spent a lot of time crafting a bunch of these gloves in order to hit this 20% magnitude, and then corrupting on a third socket. So we have a total of 120% from our increased socketed effect, and then another 20% here for a total of 140%. And then our boots, very similarly, are corrupted with a third socket, so we get an extra 30% movement speed due to the 100% increased socketed effect and the movement speed runes. We could have an extra 5% here if we had the money to go for a level 82 pair of boots, but I'm pretty satisfied with this amount of movement speed. And then we're running an Ingenuity Belt because Ingenuity Belt is going to boost up our ring damage, or our rings, and help us get more damage here. And then we have the extra energy shield as well to help there. We are running Olros, which we rarely press, and our flask is kind of whatever. We are running the Thawing and these things. These are all the same pretty much. And yeah, that's the gear. Really, the biggest highlight being this this dueling wand. So proud of myself for being able to craft gear, trade, get the money to be able to like purchase this thing from the market. Like, I had an active live search for these for so long, and finally one popped up that was like within the realm of me being able to purchase. So really just so sick that I was able to buy this on trade and craft it up fully. It feels like the culmination of like multiple leagues coming together. So super cool for me. Anyway, that's the gear, and we'll go into the skill tree next here. All right, the skill tree is not too changed. We're still running the Constant Gale, the Force of Will. We're running Strike twice because we want to Shock twice, and we're running Storm Select Recollection. We still have the same stuff over here. A lot of this is unchanged from previous videos, but I'm just like walking through it just to show we are getting the extra shock magnitude here. Getting all these points is pretty nice. We did pump over to Chronomancy for increased skill effect duration over here, and that is basically just to make sure Sigil of Power lasts longer. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is mostly unchanged here, except for we took points out of our Archon stuff over here. Well, we had to take these points out specifically so that we could get another gem slot, or jewel slot. We've been using this Eldritch Battery from nothing for a while. I think I had it in the last video, but you know, these are what we are taking with that. We're taking the Dreamcatcher, Etherflow, Arcane Intensity, Raw Mana, Lightning Quick. Just for reference, my very last point, level 100 point, was Etherflow. In case folks are wondering what the last level 100 point was. So we still have this from nothing for the Eldritch Battery. And then to be able to afford, this is like the big change in the skill tree, to be able to afford it, we took out all those points over here in our Archon stuff. And we used those points to come down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To get this Megalomaniac in. This Megalomaniac has Empowered Infusions, Frazzled, and Calibration. Really, really insane for our build because we use literally all of these things. And it lets our Anoint be not Frazzled. Otherwise, we'd be anointing Frazzled most of the time. So here's Frazzled, if you don't know. Here's Calibration, which is really nice. Big energy shield, big mana. And then the last thing, which is a new bit, is this Empowered Infusions, 30% increased spell damage if you have consumed an elemental infusion recently. But yeah, that's the skill tree. The biggest update to the skill tree being we removed all of our Archon stuff over here to be able to come down and get an extra jewel slot down here so that we could run a Megalomaniac. Anyway, that's the skill tree. All right, and that is the level 100 build update, the final update for my Stormweaver Sorceress. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'll try to answer anything because this is a rather quick, or it's a faster like showcase, not really a build update necessarily. And we'll be back next week with another crafting video, and the week after that will probably be a crafting video. And then after that, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do because I moved on to a new character. We're doing negative rarity farming on Ritualist, just trying to see how that feels, see if the hype is real. And anyway, thanks so much for hanging out, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Peace. Holy shot. Yes, sir.